All right, going live here. Got my screen here so I can see the chat as people hop in. Alan, right on time, right off the bat. Alan, welcome. Good to see you, bud. I am here. I am streaming. I am back in America. I'm still a little bit jet lagged, if you can believe it. I had my first match back at Blitzkrieg on New Year's Eve with a big win over Alan Angels and Robert Martyr. That was a great time, great match. What a welcome back. Everyone in Worcester's so happy to see me. I didn't really get to come out and say hi to everyone. I was so jet lagged and so tired, and my last week in Japan I had a really bad cold, and between that and the travel I was just barely hanging on. So yeah, I'm back now and feeling good, finally up streaming. It'll only be this week because the next 2 weeks I'm gonna be away, but I'll be back after that, and probably with more stories and more cool stuff to talk about. But for now, I thought a cool welcome back, a cool thing to do upon my first return here would be to kind of do like an unboxing of all the stuff I brought back from Japan. You know, I pride myself on traveling light. When I taught English in Korea for a summer in 2011, and when I went, I only brought carry-on. I had a backpack and a very small rolling bag, and that was it. And I was there for a whole summer, and I was very proud of that. This particular trip, I still tried to pack light, even though I had to have all my wrestling gear. I had to have all my training gear. I was there for 3 months. I was there 92 days I was in Japan. You know, there was a lot of things I needed. I was hoping to stream while I was over there, but I did still end up doing some video editing and all those things. So I had to bring my big laptop, my big good video laptop. It was a lot to pack, and I still traveled pretty light on the way there. I just had my 2 carry-ons and 1 check bag. I considered that a big win, but on the way back, I needed more, so I wound up with 2 check bags because I brought back things for me. I brought back gifts for my wife and for my family, and I'm gonna show you some of that now because it's pretty awesome. I'm so excited. These are some fantastic little keepsakes, and you know, I'm gonna try to hold stuff up close enough to the camera that you can get a real good look at it. The first thing I got upon coming back didn't actually come from Japan. You're kind of looking at it. It's my newly revamped workshop. While I was gone, my wife knew that when I came back I was going to do more streaming down here. I was going to do more 3D print videos. My 3D print business was going to be a lot more active. So she knew that there was a lot of work that needed to be done, and she got it rolling, and she did some great work. At some point I'll do a bigger tour, but for right now I'm going to actually come over behind the camera. I'm going to walk you through real quick, show you just a little hint of what's gone on here because it's pretty great. The first thing is I have this this bench right here is going to be my sort of performance bench. This is going to be where I stream from, where I do my work. And you see here I have this this new stool that I gotta show off. This is my Bigfoot 4x4 shop stool. That's going to be what I'm sitting on while I'm working on my 3D prints. Can you imagine better inspiration than the original monster truck with me at all times? Can't wait to see you work on the trucks I gave you. Yeah, that's definitely coming up. I'm going to be doing some repairs on old Hot Wheels and Monster Jam trucks, courtesy of my buddy Alan. And let's see. Your stream is saying you're playing the TMNT game. That's true. The settings for an IRL stream on Twitch, it makes you pick a game. I'm not playing a game, so I just left it. It does technically say I'm playing Ninja Turtles, though. Oh, hey, Dave the Monster Truck Nerd is here. Welcome, my friend. If you just tuned in, I was just showing off my new workshop stool, my Bigfoot stool. Very pleased with that. But I'm going to show you around the workshop a little bit because my wife did a bunch of upgrades while I was gone. So I'm going to come over, take the camera off the tripod for a sec, and we're going to go mobile here. So the first thing is, when I came back, I immediately built this bench. It's movable. It's not attached to anything. That way I can stream from it. I can set it in many different setups. I can have my printers visible in the background. I can set it here to have this part of the workshop. I can be over here, but we're gonna go bit by bit. So I tore down bunch of the framing here and put up a little wall. That's going to get painted. I'm actually going to put that TV there on that wall, and it'll serve as my monitor. Right now I have a laptop sort of doing that job, but I'll have a permanent monitor there so I can see what I'm streaming. These shelves I built day 3 after I got home, jet lagged. I just had to power through it. There was an old workbench here that was just falling apart, and this was a huge upgrade. And you can actually see my vintage original Clodbuster. It does not run. It is terribly beat up. The tires are rotted, but that comes from sitting in a garage for a long time. Eventually, I'm going to do a full restoration video on this. Going to 3D print some replacement parts. There's replacement parts I can order from different companies. This will run again. I do still have the original radio, all the original electronics. I'm going to swap them out for stuff that's a little more modern, just because, you know, when those electronics have sat as long as they have, you probably don't want to mess with them too much. I'm not going to show too much of what I have here for the unboxing, but this is my newly revamped workshop area. It's a little bit messy right now because I'm set up for this stream, but it is so much better than it was. My wife even going so far as to get me some monster truck decals up on the wall, organizing the clamps. You can see the walls are all painted now. These shelves were falling apart before, and she fixed everything. They are sturdy, solid as a rock. All of my drawers here are so well organized now. These are my alcohol inks for dyeing resins. Coming down the way to all my printers, you can see it's much cleaner down here. I have some prints running currently, so you'll hear those throughout the course of the stream. Printing Series 1 Perry monster truck chassis because I need some examples of my work for the website for my 3D print business, which I'm working on. And over here I am printing a full-size mandible, the full-size jaw of a Homo sapien skull. That's going to go with the top half I printed before. I can show you the world. Absolutely. I mean, hey, I'm going to be in Disney in a week and a half, so I can relate. And you can see I still have a lot of toys and stuff up. The gym is still getting used, still lit all funny. But yeah, even simple stuff like she organized all my spray paints, organized all my filaments and all my resins. This whole shop is just looking so much better. Really excited to finish putting it together. But to keep everyone from having any nausea, I'm gonna get you guys back on the tripod here, get the phone plugged back in so we don't run out of juice, and we're gonna take a look at some of the stuff I got in Japan, because it's some great stuff. You know, Japan was such a great experience, and I do plan to go back this year. I'm on a 1-year visa, a 1-year contract. I know Rip has his return date already set. I don't think we're going at the same time. And our buddy Jet Wee, if you followed any of the adventures over there, any of the blogs, any of the vlogs, you saw Jet Wee, the wrestler from Taiwan. He was there with us all 3 months. He's the man. He is super funny. His English is great and getting better all the time. And he is a phenomenal wrestler. And he goes back, I believe I'm allowed to say it. I don't think he's meant to be a surprise. But he goes back in just a couple of days. Like, he's going back that quick, and he is staying the rest of his year contract the whole time. I'm so proud of him, so excited for him. And my return date will be figured out soon enough. We're just sort of sorting out some details there. So, let's talk about all of this stuff. First, I'm going to talk about a couple things I didn't get at Japan. I was just out a couple days ago getting some things I needed, and I managed to snag, after searching for quite some time, I managed to get the Samson, Hot Wheels Samson truck. Very excited to finally add that to the collection. I actually bought 2 of these. One I opened up, it's on the shelf upstairs with my other trucks, and this one I've got other plans for. It will be opened up, and spoiler alert, it will be taken apart. But I've got some plans where I'm gonna do a future video with this and a few other trucks where we're gonna take these bodies, use some 3D printing, and change their style a little bit. I might even do a little painting on them, and you'll see. That's gonna be a fun little project. I'm looking forward to that. All right, you've seen that recently, Hot Wheels Monster Jam version. Yeah, the Hot Wheels Monster Jam version of that Really nice. Hard to find these days, though. You know, you got to watch eBay for those. And then I had a couple more of the Ninja Turtle re-releases. I know Alan was keeping an eye out for me while I was in Japan, but I was holding off till I got back. Upon getting back, I managed to find Wingnut and Screw Loose. I'm going to hold that up and make sure we get a good clear shot. And also managed to get the re-released Genghis Frog. And very excited to add those to the collection. You know, my collection of the Turtles re-releases and actual original releases growing all the time. So yeah, super glad to have all three of those. Now, on to Japan. Boy, I almost don't know where to start. I guess I'll start with this little bag here because it's going to be the most chaotic to go through. I'm gonna dump all of this out of here first. And I'm going to show you this bag because this is something I checked out while I was in Japan. Didn't eat there because it was way too pricey, but I did check out the Kirby Cafe, which was totally awesome. The theming was tremendous. It smelled amazing. And, you know, I'm a big coffee guy, so I did get some Kirby coffee to bring home. And it's been fantastic. I got a couple things for my wife there. She's a huge Nintendo addict. But yeah, I had to share that. Just so cool. Again, if you go back on some vlog episodes, there's one where I check out the Kirby Cafe. Totally worth seeing because it is, it's really awesome. Checking the chat here, saying you weren't sure about Genghis Frog. Yeah, I wasn't sure about any of the Turtles figures while I was in Japan because I was just trying to wait and see, you know, how did I do on merch sales over there? Did I really have the money to be spending on my collection? And yeah, I did okay. All right, so... all these little little capsules here. Capsule machines are so popular in Japan. I definitely have some clips in some of the vlogs where I'm walking past some of them. These are all exactly what you think they are. It's exactly like in America. Monster Vet. Oh, you know, I do have a couple Monster Vets. I may need an extra one for a project like the Samson project, so I'm going to keep that in mind, and I'm going to let you know. Thank you, Wrestling Nerd Dave. But yeah, these capsules. So the capsule machines are so popular in Japan. There's these spots that I really can't impress upon you how many of these machines they have. They're exactly what you're picturing, the old grocery store machines with the little, you know, I mean, they kind of look like this, the little plastic balls that came out with a toy or something inside. And they are everywhere. There's whole stores that are nothing but these capsule machines, and it's hundreds of them. They're usually double or triple stacked, and they are set in just rows and rows and rows of them. For a long time, I kind of looked at them and didn't know if I was going to get anything, and then one day, I saw one that I knew I had to get, and it was this one, which I'm going to carefully open here. I love really small trucks. I know Human Monster Truck loves tiny trucks, but it's true. You know, I have my little VW Rabbit, a really tiny truck, and I love Japanese mini trucks, the K trucks. They're so cool. You see a few of them every once in a while here in America, but in Japan they were everywhere. And right here I have, and I'm going to see on my screen here how it focuses on this. Yeah, I may need to, but yeah. Got that out of a capsule machine. It's got the little tarped back. Just a great little toy. I want to say this machine was, yeah, and then the tarp comes off, so you've got just the regular truck, but it pops together. Yeah, I want to say it was 100 yen, which is about the equivalent of like 66 cents US. You know, hard to beat that. So that's when I got, that's technically a toy that I got for my wife. There's a bunch of these I'm not going to show because they were gifts for my wife and she already has them. One of them was a model of a trilobite that popped together and was actually posable. It came in a really big capsule. Really, we sat the night I came home after 30-something hours of traveling. We sat on the kitchen floor and put this little model together because it's exactly the kind of thing she's into. She was an anthropology major, loves animals, loves weird stuff, and that was totally up her alley. I'm going to show the rest of these real quick. Trying to separate them so I can see which ones are which here. Yeah. Oh man. Okay. So I love Keshi toys. These are the small, like the muscle figures. And you know, Kinnikuman was the series those are from. But they have them for all kinds of stuff over there. And you know, one of the first Perry toys I ever sold was a Keshi scale. And I got this one that is a little multi-pack. And I'm gonna stand up again to get a little closer to the camera. A little multi-pack for Ultraman. And you can see here, there's, just get a look in the camera here and make sure it's focusing. Ultraman. We got one of his villains for him to fight here. One of the villain monsters. You know, a cool little kaiju creature. And then in a two-part that pops together is a little robot guy from the series. The names, of course, all escape me at the moment. Oh, I put them together backwards. There we go. Oh no, I had them right. Yeah, little robot kaiju Keshi there. So yeah, that one was that was 500 yen, so about $3.80 or something like that. And it came with 3 figures all in one. So that's that one. Let's see, and I can't remember all which of these are which, but so it might go out of order. But let's see, this one was, ooh, this one's all in. Oh yeah, okay, so this is one I might do on a future live stream, but you can see it's model parts, and this is a figure, when it goes together, a posable figure of Kinnikuman from the original series that is the namesake of the muscle figures. But yeah, an entire model, and that was I believe that was 300 yen, so about $2. All right, and then the rest of these, I got 4 more, and they are all Kinnikuman figures, all of which I felt like I got real lucky. So this first one is actually 2 figures. I'm going to let you get some nice views. They're both sort of variants of Kinnikuman. But this one, you can see there's a footprint on his back. And that's because this other guy is meant to be standing on him and sort of using him as a surfboard. Like that. And this is how you would pose them on your shelf. And it really does stand pretty okay like that. So these guys are all going to go. I have a small Keshi collection, which I should probably show that on stream sometime. But those will go with that. All right, let's see if I can't get this to close back again. There we go. All right, and then from the same machine, I managed to pull, I think pretty fortunately, another guy. There were really only 2 on it. They show you the different options. There were 2 on it that I was like, oh, I'd love to have that one. This one is one of the characters, and he's just flying along with his little hand up in the air. And I think that's a pretty great little character. He actually comes in 2 parts. The arm detaches. Having a little trouble focusing on that. Well, that's all right. We're going to fly through the rest of these capsules because we've got so much more stuff to show here. Again, I was there 3 months. I was bound to accumulate a few things. Just checking the chat, making sure I'm not missing anything, guys. All right. So then there was a machine where they were metallic, and I assumed they were coated or painted, and they were still just the little rubber guys like these. And I was wrong. They are actually cast metal, and I'm gonna give you a nice close-up of this. Is one of the many villain characters from Kinnikuman, and he is a heavy chunk of metal. You can just hear him on the table here. He's heavy. So that was pretty cool, and really not very expensive. Again, I think less than $3 for that one. And then I had one last capsule to open after all was said and done. It was from the metal one, and it was the best pull I could have had. It is Kinnikuman himself, the main character, the namesake, cast in a silver metal. Super cool. I'm glad I'm finally getting this stream done, because I've been dying to put these guys up with the rest of the collection, but I wanted to wait till I got to kind of open them on stream and show them off. All right, so those are my capsule toys. Again, those are everywhere, and they're so popular, and it's so weird. It's sort of what led to a lot of the blind box stuff that you see here in America. Let's see. Another great experience I had over there was I got to go to the sumo matches, and I covered that on an episode of the vlog, and I wanted to show just a couple of things I got there. Getting to the merch table at the sumo matches was a struggle. I'm a huge white guy. I'm 6'3", and I'm wide, and I've got a long blonde ponytail. I'm very recognizable. And Fukuoka, while it's a big city, Kyushu Pro Wrestling has a huge, huge footprint in that city. And by the time the sumo matches were coming, I'd already been there for about 2 months, and I'd been on probably 12 or 13 shows in various towns on the island, and we were getting recognized kind of everywhere we went. I went to the sumo match alone, and it took me over 30 minutes to get from my seat to the merch table, because people kept stopping me. They just recognized me. There's not a lot of guys who look like me walking around Fukuoka. And yeah, I got stopped for a lot of pictures, which was so cool and kind of surreal. But it took me forever to get to the merch table. And I wanted to show you a couple of the things I grabbed. The first is, every day they have to print a fresh set of the match lineups for the tournament. The tournament's there for almost a full month. First time chat. Hello, sorry for bothering you. I want to offer you a promotion. Oh God, I'm getting spammed. Yeah, thanks. No thanks. Cool. Anyways, the sumo matches. One of these days I'm gonna make Alan a mod for the channel here, and he can ban bots and stuff. Yeah, I went to the sumo matches, and every day they have to print a fresh set of the sumo standings, the tournament matches, and the matches for that day and when they're going to happen. And spam bots, thank you, Perry. So I thought I would show you. Held a message. Oh, there it is. An actual mod bot held Alan's message. I'm gonna allow it because I agree. Fuck the spam bots. Am I demonetized for saying that? But yeah, got this cool printout from the sumos. It's on, you can sort of tell it's on newspaper. And when you open it up all the way, and I am gonna keep opening, it's got this huge fold-out poster of some of the top Rikishi that were competing. And on the other side, there's a bunch of, there's a layout of the stadium and stuff. But what an awesome, this was free, by the way. This just came with your ticket. So yeah, super cool to have. Folding it up very carefully now, doing a terrible job of it. Oh, hey, actually that went together all right. But yeah, that was free. And what a cool thing to go home with. Everyone there got one. Including the kids, and I'll get to the kids because boy, there were a bunch of kids that recognized me, and that was really cool. Their parents came running up to where I was sitting. It's a whole story. Now, some of the things I picked out, I loved the support towels. It's a big part of the culture over there, and you see it coming into America a bit now. It's big in soccer and big getting there in wrestling, where they have these support towels with the wrestler names and a picture, and they wave them, and it's sort of like having a sign at a wrestling show. And they had a few cool ones that I really liked. I really dug this one. I had to have it. There's something about the art in that face that almost makes it look like, if you told me this was drawn by the folks who drew King of the Hill, I would believe you. So I have that. That's gonna go up as a permanent fixture on the wall in my gym for sure. That's another thing. If you've never taken a close look at sumo wrestling, the sort of stereotype of, oh, it's these big fat guys, really couldn't be further from the truth. Those guys are jacked out of their minds. I've never seen guys that look so strong and terrifying. They're just incredible athletes. So having some homages to them up in the gym, I think would be pretty cool. I also got a couple other support towels. Let's see, making sure I got it up the right way. Yeah, a couple support towels of different Rikishi that I watched while I was there, who had some really great matches. What's interesting about sumo is every match is probably 3, 4, maybe 5 full minutes of ceremony and preparation and, oh, are we gonna go? No, no, I'm not ready. No, okay, now, no, no, not ready. And then sometimes the matches are just like 3, 4, 5 seconds. They're real fast. Tenta was a sumo. Tenta's a great example of an incredible athlete who's a sumo, because, man, Tenta, talk about underrated. I think he's just starting to get appreciated now. But yeah, I got 2 of these support towels for 2 different Rikishi that I saw there. Just an incredible experience. Getting to see sumo championships in Japan, unreal. And it felt like I had to, you know? Sort of felt like if you came to America one time, like you kind of have to go to a baseball game, it feels right. I think that's sort of how I felt about going out to a sumo match. And man, it was incredible. The energy in the room was electric. Very cool. All right, so next thing I'm going to show here, you'll see the bag here is a Pro Wrestling Noah bag, which you know, I got to see our old pal Anthony Green. Got to hang out with AG a little bit because Noah came down to Fukuoka. And while he was there, again, all these shows give you free stuff when you show up. They give you a couple free Noah folders, and I have some stuff inside these. These are custom for the event. Yeah, okay, so that's just got an advertisement that came with it. This one though, I do have a the official guidebook from the show along with my ticket. A lot of the stuff I haven't organized yet. It's all going to go into a binder and a nice case so that nothing happens to any of it. Put the ticket back in there so nothing happens to it. But yeah, got to see AG while we were there. Picked up the official guidebook, largely because I had to see if AG was in it. And sure enough, there's our boy, all grown up, being a big star off in Japan. Oh, he's got a reflection on him. That ought to be better. But yeah, got to hang out with him and a couple of his guys. We all went out for food after the show. Really great time. So the next thing I have, there was a pro wrestling store in Hakata, which is the main downtown in the city of Fukuoka, and it was super cool. They had all kinds of Japanese and some American wrestling memorabilia, everything from figures to trading cards to programs and magazines and 8x10s and autographs and t-shirts, everything under the sun. And I had to pick up some stuff. And the one thing I did end up buying, Rip got a few shirts. I know Jet Wee got a few shirts. And they were so excited to meet us. They took our picture. They posted about us coming to the store. They recognized us right away. And they gave us a bunch of gifts along with the things we purchased. I will say I let go one of my gifts to Rip because it felt like it made a lot of sense. There was an autographed 8x10 of Kenta Kobashi lifting in his gym that they gifted to me. And I took one look at it and I said, this belongs on the wall in the Dun Gym. There's nowhere else that this should be. A Rip needed to have it. So Rip has that now, along with, they gave him an autographed Mitsuharu Misawa 8x10, which is insane. Just so cool that they hooked us up with that stuff. They also gave us a whole bunch of back issues of different Japanese wrestling magazines. You know, just a whole pile of them here from various years. So yeah, those are all in the collection now. Some really great stuff in there. Carefully pile this out of the way. But they also, they knew that from Instagram, they saw that I had trading cards and they wanted to know, who my favorite wrestlers were. So I mentioned to them Kobashi and Vader as 2 of my favorites. And very quickly, they found and kept for me, when I came back to my second visit at the store, this holographic Vader card, which I'm going to try to move a little bit so you can see some of the hologram and see the design. This Vader card, all Japanese trading cards, just super cool to add to the collection. As well as a Kenta Kobashi trading card, which was a special limited edition that he did for a children's cancer event. So very cool to have those, add them to the collection. Yeah, just I didn't know where this wound up, but it just fell out of the little protective case I had those in. This is my ticket stub from going to see Godzilla -1 on opening day in Japan. That, like going to see sumo, Godzilla movie opens while you're in Japan and you're free on one day during opening weekend. It felt right. So yeah, me and Jetwee and Rip all went and saw it, and we had a great time. No subtitles, all in Japanese, and we followed it perfectly. Great film and a great time, and what a cool experience to come away with. But that's of course covered in one of the vlogs. All right, taking a glance at the chat here. Vader flying, hell yeah. A signed Vader card is one of my holy grails, man. Right? I mean, what a performer. But as long as I'm on the topic of the store there, the wrestling store, I should show the T-shirt that I picked up there. This was the one shirt that I purchased for myself in Japan, and it is this awesome Tenryu shirt. Just, I mean, such a cool retro design. Tenryu looking super badass. Yeah, really pleased with that. And yeah, that's one that'll be in my regular rotation now. All right, I do have some other cool shirts and things to get to, but first, we gotta talk Gundam. Now, I'm not someone who builds Gundams, but I do 3D print and I do paint my own miniatures, so all of it appeals to me. I did get a few sets of the Gundam paint pens that are made for plastics. I think that's really going to help doing some of the fine detail when I'm painting my own figures. And so that'll come up in later videos when, you know, when it comes time to work on my figures again on stream. And believe me, that's coming soon, because I got a bunch that are not painted and ready to go yet. Already printed out. But I have this. We went to Lalaport in Fukuoka, where they have a Gundam mall that features a 60-foot tall, life-size animatronic Gundam out front. It is covered in one of the vlog episodes. If you haven't seen it, you gotta see it. And I mean, you know, of course, if you're ever in Fukuoka, please check it out. But I had to get, because I'm huge on weird roadside attractions like that, and I love, like, Disney Imagineering is sort of my jam. So I got this guidebook that is, it's really interesting. It's half total kayfabe, telling you about the Gundam suit and its powers and where it came from, but then it is also half completely in reality, where it's talking about how they built this massive, I'm going to hold it up closer again so you can see the mall in the background and get an idea of the size and scale of this thing. But they talk about how they built it and what went into it. And that is 100% my jam. I love behind the scenes of those kinds of things. Which, I mean, given that I'm emanating this whole thing from a workshop where I build my own toys, you probably could have guessed. But they didn't have the normal version of that book. They only had the deluxe version. I didn't really know what that entailed, but I knew that I wanted the book, so it wasn't too much more expensive, maybe $5 more than it would have been. So I bought it, and what it came with, and these are real popular in Japan, is a little acrylic standee of the Gundam from out front fighting another Gundam. And it came with a little base that it all stands on. And what's great about this, I'm not sure if I'll have an easy way to show this, but if I hold it next to the camera, maybe it'll become clear. It's see-through, so the light from behind it kind of lights it. And yeah, that I didn't know I needed that, but I do. So that's going to end up on display, probably down here in the workshop. In fact, I'm probably going to find a spot for it down here where it can be backlit properly. And you know, I can't think of anything more appropriate for a toy workshop than Gundams, really. So yeah, that was kind of a nice surprise. Like, I didn't know that was what was in there. They just handed me this box that it was in, and I kept it in the box, in the bag, all the way home on the train. And I got back to the company house and opened it up, and I went running down to Rip's room because I had to show him. And yeah, super psyched with that. All right, so we're getting to some of the really cool stuff here. Yeah, I guess I'll get into this first. So talking t-shirts, I had a shirt actually come while I was gone. While I was in Japan, I saw this on Twitter. I saw it advertised by a Twitter and Instagram account called WCW Worldwide. If you don't follow them, give them a follow. Shout out WCW Worldwide. They had this sick shirt design of the Dungeon of Doom monster truck with the Giant and Kevin Sullivan on the shirt. And you know I had to have it. I mean, how many monster truck wrestling shirts are there for a guy to collect? There's not that many. And I tweeted and simply said, this shirt's amazing. I gotta get one. Someone buy me one, I think was the joke I tweeted. And I got a nice message from WCW Worldwide that said, hey, get me your address. I'll just hook you up with one. And they sent me one, and it was waiting for me when I got home. They also included a couple stickers, which, you know, very similar design, but sort of a cartoon version of the truck. Absolutely love that. So great. Yeah, Alan, right? What a shirt, huh? If you need to get one for yourself, WCW Worldwide on Twitter and Instagram. I know he'll be happy to hear from you. His stock was running low when last I heard. All right, so we're talking shirts. We're talking stuff from Japan. I got to talk about my buddy, my housemate, opponent most of the time there. I don't think we ever teamed, but we fought a lot. He was one of the victims of a merry-go-round over there. He is the Kyushu Pro heavyweight champion, Kodai Nozaki. What a talent. 26 years old. This guy is an unbelievable athlete. And has a great shirt design. Forgive the cat hair all over it. That's just how I live. But just like the human monster truck, he is the Japanese heavy tank. And on the backside, Kyushu logo. But on one of the last days we were there, in fact, at the last show, he gifted his new shirt design. You can order it online if you want one, kyushupro.com. Gifted that to us, and it is so good. Really comfortable, really nice shirt too, really high quality print. I don't know how they're making their shirts in Japan, but they are crazy nice. I also got from the company my own Kyushu Pro shirt. This thing's sort of that breathable like workout fabric, and yeah, super good. Love this shirt. I wore it at a bunch of the shows. Really made me feel like I was part of the team, you know. And I guess while we're talking about it, you can see I'm wearing it now. The Kyushu Pro track shirt, or track suit. This is a big part of Japanese wrestling culture. All the companies, New Japan, All Japan, Noah, all of them you see, they have their track suits. And the very last night we were there, the company gifted tracksuits to myself, Rip Bison, and Jet Wee. We were the first gaijin they've ever gifted tracksuits to. And I love this thing. It's super nice, and very proud to represent Kyushu Pro Wrestling. Had to mention that. I put it on because it's actually a little chilly in the basement here. You might hear a hum of my space heater running, but you know, had to represent. All right, so the next thing, and I'm not going to show everything that's in here, but I'll show a few things. I got this little case full of the programs from the shows. And this was a cool surprise that I didn't really know was going to happen before I was there. Is that every show, they make a little full-color program with all their advertisers. And I'm going to get a little closer here. And on the inside, they have the full match listings, but then they also have the roster. And you can see, there we are, all three gaijins with our descriptions in Japanese. And, like, what a cool souvenir to bring home. Like, I didn't know that was something I needed in my life, but as soon as I saw one, And it was Ripper Reed, Jake Reed, who had already been there for a few months and was just getting ready to leave. He's a British wrestler. Look him up. Good guy. He had collected all of them from the shows while he was there, and I saw them and thought, I have to. I have to have these. I also have some programs from other shows, including this is from Marvelous, when they ran in Fukuoka. And it actually has this match here, I believe. I'm waiting for my... Yeah, right here. Vinny Massaro versus Jet Wee. Jet Wee got to be on Marvelous, and my buddy Vinny Massaro from California was over there. And just a little bit below that, you see also from West Coast Pro, Titus Alexander was over. So got to meet up and hang out with some of the West Coast crew. That was a delight. And what a great show. Got to see a lot of really good stars. Mio was really fantastic. You know, I'm a big fan of Il Sayaka, Unagi Sayaka. She was on the show. Let's see. Oh yeah, so also another magazine, and have some of these because I actually made it into some Japanese wrestling magazines, which was a huge surprise. Apparently, Kyushu hasn't been necessarily covered in these magazines all that much, but they were... Oh yeah, they cover Marvelous. I wonder if Jet Wee made it into here. Yeah, they hadn't been covered very much, and they were just starting to get some coverage when we went over, and both myself and Rip wound up being featured in... This is the most prominent wrestling magazine in Japan, or at least that's how it was explained to us. And yeah, I'm not going to make you sit here while I flip through pages to find where I am in it. I probably should have bookmarked these before I started. But yeah, full like pictures and descriptions of myself and of Rip. They covered the match where Rip challenged for the championship. They also covered the show where I challenged for the championship, which is just like what a cool surprise. You know, we had no idea that anything like that was, you know, I didn't really think I would end up in a Japanese wrestling magazine on a 3-month tour, but it happened pretty quick. You know, it was, I think, show number 3 was the one where, or show number 4, where I challenged for the belt. And they also featured me on the show where Rip challenged, because I came out after his match to announce my challenge against Nozaki. But yeah, that's one of the coolest things I could possibly bring back is that. So before I get to the gifts from fans, which may be the coolest thing I have to talk about. I love, you know, I mean, you guys know gifts from fans mean a lot to me, and the ones I got from the Japanese are absolutely awesome and adorable. I wanted to show one last thing. Don't let the Gundam logo out here fool you. I managed to find the Tamiya junior size 4-wheel drive monster truck kits. Both the Nissan, it's the Nissan King Cab, and the very much in the style of Roland Thunder, the Vanessa's Lunchbox. And these are, you know, very much like the Bigfoot Champions battery-powered trucks that were just 4-wheel drive. You click them on, you click them off. These are very much the same thing, only they come in a kit and you build them yourself. These remain unchanged. What comes in them, how they're packaged, the instructions, and the box art remain unchanged since the mid-'80s when they were first sold. And to find them in Japan, you can see the price on here, 1,180 yen. That is about $7.50, give or take. So super cheap, and they had more. They had other ones too. They had a VW Beetle, they had a few other ones, but these were the ones that I had to have. These will be in an upcoming video. I'm going to do a live stream build of Vanessa's Lunchbox, and then I've kind of got something special planned for this one that'll involve a little bit of 3D modeling and some printing before it's finished. But yeah, these I was so excited to find these. You can't imagine, because I looked all over. There were we did shows in malls. There were huge shopping centers all through the middle of town, so there were toy stores of all variety everywhere, and I just really wasn't finding monster trucks at all. I did eventually find some Hot Wheels monster trucks. I saw the Bigfoot electric toy, and really thought about picking it up at the excuse me, at the time, but wasn't sure how much room I was going to have in my luggage on the way back. And I'm kind of glad that I waited, because I know you can find those here, and I was at capacity. So yeah, really glad to have those, and look out for a video in the future where I'm going to do a live build of Vanessa's lunchbox, and then definitely a video series of what I have planned for the Nissan King cab. All right, so we're down to the last section of stuff I want to show off here, and these are gifts from fans. And some of these were given to me at the last show we did there. Some of them were given to me kind of over time. There's notes from some of the fans, and I just wanted to show some of this stuff real quick. First, there were a lot of fans there that did photography at the shows, and they had some great pictures. One fan went so far as to get some of their pictures actually printed out for us, and I actually have a couple of them that were gifted to me from the shows. And yeah, just, you know, you don't really get physical pictures all that much. There's a great shot, me and Rip and Hidemaru Sasaki and Genkai all celebrating after a big win. That was the show where I gave and Yamaguchi-san, the referee, in the background. But that was a show where I gave Baten, their #1 comedy wrestler, Perry, go around while his ass was out. His ass came out every match. His trunks always came down. It was like Shawn Michaels in the early 90s. Yeah, and then same show, myself and Genkai after the match, looking a little tired. It was a little chilly. The sun had gone down. This was sort of late in the tour where the temperatures had been dropping. But yeah, very cool to have like actual like physical photos from the tour. I'll tell you, some of the best souvenirs that I have from that tour are digital assets. They are photos that were taken by the photographers at Kyushu Pro. Kuroki and Hanako are incredible photographers, and they captured some great moments for me there, and pictures that I think will probably be like the defining images of my wrestling career. So awesome to have those. And on the off chance that they're watching and they've watched this far into the video, Hanako, Kuroki, arigatou gozaimasu. Really can't thank you enough. All right, so also I mentioned young fans that recognized me at the sumo matches. One of them actually took pictures with me, and you can sort of see pictures. One's at a sumo match, one's after a show, and I'm in gear. And he made this whole little note that has like has little sumo stickers all over it, and he kind of wrote stuff on it. And his mom was kind enough to actually date and describe what the pictures were on here for me. And on the inside, he has a note with a bunch of stickers of the various Rikishi. And he says, "Please come back to Japan again, Big Perry. Thank you." Signed, Kanta. And that's the young man's name. And he also gifted me along with it. And I'll open this so you can get a good look at it. A couple of souvenirs from the sumo matches, which is really cool. You know, again, I think word was out. People, you know, the fans in Japan love social media. They follow and watch everything you're into, and I think the word was out to them that I like trading cards, because one of the things he gave me was a sumo wrestling trading card that if I move it, you might be able to see that it's holographic. So that's really cool. And then a keychain of one of the support banners. And on the other side, you can see the kanji. Yeah, just a super cool, super thoughtful gift from that fan. And then I have a couple notes from fans. Little girl gave me this note. You can see for Perry Von Vicious, and it's dated with a little heart on it. That's adorable. And when I open it up, there's a note inside here that I'll read to you. It says, "I'm sad to see you leave here. Good luck in your future endeavors. I love you." And there's some little cartoon ice creams on there. Love that. And then on the back, she has drawn a picture of me. So super cool, absolutely adorable. Again, I really can't stress enough, the fans there were so cool. You know, they the little kids in particular, you know, we were supposed to be villains over there. They had us beating up their top good guys all the time. And nothing we did made these people dislike us. The fans screamed for us. Yeah, I got future endeavored. Rip made the same joke because his note from the same girl said almost the exact same thing. And he was like, oh no, I'm fired. So, you know, it happens. I got another note here. This one from a young girl named, I actually can't totally read her handwriting here. Uina? Something like that. But it says, Perry, thank you. And then there's a bunch of kanji. There's some hearts. And I'm going to show this just so you can see the, the cool little characters that are on here. Little characters like that are very common over in Japan. Everything from construction signs to banner advertisements always have a cute little cartoon character on them. And then, let's see, I have another note from another fan with a little drawing of me, presumably. This is also from the same boy Kanta, who was at the sumo match. His mom kindly labeling it at the bottom on the back there with that neat handwriting. And I should say that those were not the only gifts I got from Kanta. He and his mom actually found a monster truck toy in Japan. It's this cool little orange Jeep. And I cannot tell you, it's in the most recent vlog that I uploaded, but I cannot tell you how excited I was to have fans walk up to me with roughly a 1/64th scale monster truck toy, exactly like I collect. And I promised them that this would go on the shelf with the rest of the collection, and I assure you that it will. It is a rev up toy like you would get at CVS maybe years ago. But it has this very cool little mechanism. I'm not sure the camera will pick it up. It's got this cool little mechanism in here that it looks like it has suspension, and it kind of does. But when you make it drive, it makes the wheels go up and down in a very cartoony way. And I think you might just see it at the bottom of the screen here if I push it across, where it kind of wobbles back and forth while it moves. And yeah, just a really unique, really cool toy. And yeah, super psyched to have that. And that's definitely going in the collection with the rest. Again, it's in the video. It's on my most recent vlog. I was so excited to see this when someone said, oh, we have a gift for you in the line of fans at our last show. I really couldn't believe that someone brought me a monster truck toy. So the last set of stuff that I have here was a little box of gifts that I got from my #1 fan, Nina-chan. She is the daughter of Hidemaru Sasaki, who was one of our trainers, one of the wrestlers there. He's an incredible shoot style wrestler with a great pedigree of trainers behind him. He's been wrestling some 20 years. A phenomenal athlete and a great guy. He taught our shoot class, which was the class I was the worst at, but he was always very kind about it. And his daughter, you know, being a 10-year-old girl, there is nothing that can make you cooler to a 10-year-old in 2023, no matter what country, than being on YouTube. And the fact that I had a YouTube and an Instagram, this little girl was my #1 fan. Might have to challenge that. This kid was absolutely adorable, Alan, and she came to every show while I was there. She was it felt like she was part of the Kyushu staff. She was just always there. She was usually with Kuroki, who's one of the camera women. Usually with her helping to set up the merch tables and helping. She would help roll out mats on the floors before shows. If you let her, this tiny little girl would grab chunks of the ring to carry in. She wanted nothing more than to be a part of what was going on and to help at the company where her dad works. And she very quickly became a big fan of mine. And the going away gift that I got from her, and there were similar presents given to Jet Wee and to Rip as well. I got one of those little, one of the lucky cats, and I don't know if that's gonna focus on camera, maybe, probably not, but jingles a little bit, and that's very cool. Also, they are related to Miyazaki, the creator of the films of Ghibli, however people want to pronounce it. I believe it is Ghibli because that's how they pronounced it. But they are related to them, and very closely related. And they knew that I was a fan, and at one point we even talked about the films a little bit, and they knew that right before I came, my wife and I got to go see Porco Rosso in movie theaters right before I went to Japan. So they actually got me, and this should focus up because I gave it a little backing here. They got me a little felt version of Porco Rosso, the main, the pilot pig from the film. And I was super excited about that. I know Jet Wee and Rip got tiny little versions of Totoro, but this one they knew which character I wanted, and that is so cool. I also got a note from Nina, and Nina actually messages me on Instagram all the time. I've shown her in my stories a few times. She is just the sweetest kid, and she wrote me a note on some of this. It's the Doraemon and Gucci here. See the little characters there. And the note says, "Perry, it was so much fun hanging out with you. We went out to dinner with her whole family and with the production crew. It was an incredible time." It's on the most recent vlog, very briefly, but just a great time with great people. So much fun hanging out with you. Even if you're going back to America, don't forget about everyone. Please come to Japan again, because Nina is your biggest fan. I love you. Heart, 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 Nina. And we took a picture together at that dinner, and she was so excited about it. And she went so far as to get a little frame and to have the picture printed. So I now have this that I'm going to put up in my office, up where I do my 3D printing and where I do my video game streaming. Just a great little picture of me and my #1 fan. Honestly, one of the sweetest kids. And from a great family. Met her mom at that dinner. Her mom's awesome. She's does Pilates and a lot of fitness stuff, and that's what she does professionally. And her dad, of course, one of our trainers. So yeah, just a great family. And I can't say a bad word about anybody that I met in Japan. They were all awesome. Everyone there, the entire staff and crew at Kyushu, everyone from the camera crews to the guys that drove the trucks even, you know, everybody was fantastic. Everyone in the office, Yamaguchi-san and Chikuzan's wife was fantastic, hooked us up with a bunch of free food at the house all the time, bringing us karagi chicken and stuff. I mean, obviously all the other wrestlers, you know, Sasaki and Baten and Nozaki-san and you know, Aso-san. God, I could do an entire hour sitting here telling you about Aso-san. What a character. You know, I don't want to forget anyone, but really, I can't recommend Kyushu Pro Wrestling enough. An incredible crew of performers, and all of them more talented than the last. It doesn't matter what order you list them. I had a great time. I am back in America. I'm just about over my jet lag. I'm feeling a lot better, you guys. Just in time for me to leave and go to the West Coast for 2 weeks and get all jet lagged again. But before we talk about that, I need to plug what's coming up, because I don't think anybody knows where to see me just yet, because not everything's officially been announced, and some things I'm not even scheduled for. But here are the dates coming up I think you should know about. This Thursday, 2 days from today, this Thursday, January 11th in Worcester, Massachusetts, Wrestling Open at the White Eagle. Mad returns, mutually assured destruction. It will be Rip Bison's first match back in America. It'll be my second match back in America, and the first time we have teamed in America in nearly 4 months. So you won't want to miss that. Should be a great time. We're going to cause some mayhem, show everyone what we made of ourselves in Japan. And then just 2 days later, this Saturday in East Hampton, Massachusetts, Pro Wrestling Grind. I do not have a match on this show. I am not scheduled to even be at this show, But everyone knows Pro Wrestling Grind, regardless of what tracksuit I'm wearing. Pro Wrestling Grind is my home. It is where my heart is. I want everyone to support this. Please be there. Make it a sellout. Make it a big show. Kick 2024 off in a big way for Pro Wrestling Grind. They have huge stuff planned for this year, and you won't want to miss a single show they put on. And then the very next day, I board a plane and leave for California for 2 weeks. I'm going to be in the Bay Area hanging out with some friends. I'm going to see Levi, probably see Anton. I'm stopping into a couple of the wrestling schools there to see some folks. Should be a really good time out there for my wife has some work stuff going on, so we're taking it as an excuse to visit an area that we lived in for 8 years, the Oakland, Berkeley, San Francisco area. Wrestling Open, yes. Just picture that as a chant. God, yeah. And then the other one we need to talk about coming up February 24th in Westfield, Massachusetts. I also don't know if I'm scheduled for this show, but it is my second home, Blitzkrieg Pro Wrestling. They are family to all of us, and they should be supported. Everything should be sold out there. They just announced Heath Slater will be there. I mean, what more do you need? It's just right there in Westfield. Got to be at that show. That's going to be a great time. Those are the dates that I know coming up. Wrestling Open this Thursday, the 11th in Worcester. Pro Wrestling Grind this Saturday, the 13th in East Hampton. I'll be in California after that. And yes, I am going to Disneyland. And yes, I am going to vlog. And will I see any monster trucks there? I won't give it away, but maybe. And finally, Blitzkrieg Pro, Westfield, Mass, February 24th. Got to know about all these dates. Be sure to be there. I've missed you all. I know that you've all missed me. You've made that very clear. And I'm so excited to see all of you. Oh, Grizzly Kid coming in with a raid. Oh, man. You guys just missed all of the unboxing. So, not a ton left. I'm actually getting ready to sign off here in just a minute. But Grizzly Kid, got to give a shout out. Sponsored my match at Blitzkrieg Pro just a week ago in Worcester at New Year's Eve. Big match. It was me, Robert Martyr, and Alan Angels in a three-way. Kindly sponsored by Grizzly Kid. Really appreciate it. And, just for you guys, I pulled out the big win. Great welcome back to America. So, yeah, that's everything that's coming up. That's everything that I came back with from Japan. And now that I've shown it off on the stream, now that it will all be cataloged forever on YouTube when I upload this tomorrow, I can finally start putting some of it away. I've had a stack of the stuff I brought back from Japan just sitting in the way, out in the middle of everything not put away since I got back the second week of December. So I know my wife will be glad that I finally showed this stuff off. I'll be glad to finally have it all cleaned up. There's a few things I got to find frames for. There's a few things I have to find places to display. But all in all, just what an experience in Japan. What a welcome back from all of you. I know Alan and Dave, you were both at Blitzkrieg in Worcester. And Grizzly Kid for sponsoring. Thank you so much for that. Really means a lot. And yeah, I'll see you all, whether in person or on IWTV, in 2 nights. Wrestling Open in Worcester. And yeah, I guess that's it. We're going to call it a stream. That was a good solid hour, and I hope you enjoyed seeing all the stuff I brought back from Japan. Tell your friends. I'll be live in about 3 weeks doing this again. The next 2 weeks I'll be in California. It's good to be back. Thank you all for being here.